Hey, what's up, guys? Please do not watch this video. But if you're going to watch this video, please offer some feedback, criticism, ideas about this new kind of concept that I've been exploring for a little while. And this stems from the realization that, this looking at this makes sense to me. Like, 95% of this I get. I can do things with this comfortably, and I know what I'm looking at. I know what this blue thing is. I know what these little markers are. I know what this is. I know what this button is. I know what this section kind of does. I know what this does. And, when I'm making videos, especially for the new person, I can actually just wiggle this with my mouse, and I know what it is. I can be like, yeah, this section right here, this relates to da 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 da. But like when I'm pointing at and trying to explain, I just kind of hover the mouse over it, and I've come to realize that that's not particularly constructive. When I'm kind of explaining something, and then I go over here and I do some fancy footwork, the new person isn't going to like remember where that section was. Like, it's all new. So I have devised a plan and a method, and it involves some hardware, some software, and some Windows registry stuffs to disable some default hotkeys, which were kind of a pain. So yeah, let's take, for example, these markers here. Like, I can be like, hey, look at these markers, and then explain stuff. But, I still want to keep attention to them and have context to like what I'm explaining. So I'm going to be using a cool little piece of technology, which is a tablet. So I can actually highlight these. And tablets are kind of tricky. Like, they're more difficult than they look. But I can actually, point at things and display them, and the context is there, and I can do little arrows, and I can even turn on this mode, and this would be yeah, I guess a marker, right? Um, Hopefully that's English. I'm still kind of ironing it out, but precision mode kind of allows that for legibility, and yeah, that works well for writing. And say if I want to like highlight an area, um, I have my line shortcut, but it's not actually line. It's a rectangle, so I can highlight that and be like, you know, this is a thing, and I can get into that and be like, hey, look at this MIDI velocity thing. I can point at it and then let's say, I don't know, arm it to record. I can keep attention to it, and I can be like, hey, look at that. Look at that stuff. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Like, it's this new exciting thing called MIDI, and you can see it there. And yeah, I actually have to turn cursor on. Yeah, and I can do that. Yes. So there's that idea, and I can just do that to delete it. And this works well for a lot of kind of exploratory things. So I can kind of explain kind of section by section. I can zoom in and be like, um, here's like these sample points and stuff like that. And then I can really get into there, and I can be like, hey, right here is the zero crossing. I can have an arrow pointed to that, which would be this section there. And then I can kind of draw in with a varying accuracy and, explain stuff that way, which is pretty cool. Also, and I haven't gotten the shortcut to work. This is actually kind of tricky. Boom, Blackboard. So this Blackboard offers me, I can just be like, hey, just focus on this one freaking idea. Something like that, and then like that, and then like that. So like these could represent, say, This could be a an oscillator, which would be, you know, a number of things. Nope, I keep on doing that. So what happens is, yeah, I press the precision button on the pen. I should actually have that mapped to a hotkey. But what was I doing? Oh yeah, so I was like, yeah, this would be a saw wave. This right here would be a square wave, and then, you know, a sine, and then, like, you know, a triangle, you know, things like that. And you know, that would go into the output stage. Actually, it would go in through here. I can actually jump back and erase that. And I can go here and I can be like, yo, this is the filter. And this right here is the cutoff. Oops. I gotta stop doing that. I think I need to map this to a hotkey. This would be the cutoff. And then this right here, this whole section, and I can, you know, no, that was terrible. This section could be, there we go. This could be the, yeah, the roll off, and this would be like, you know, 4-pole, you know, 4-pole, or, my mind's drawing a blank here. You know, it'd be like 24 dB per octave, and I can kind of, you know, 24 dB per octave. And I hope that's legible. But anyway, that's just my writing. And then, you know, I can go into wherever. And it's all on the whiteboard. And I can be like, you know, Ableton is dope. Ski. My writing is not that much better than this in real life, but I can kind of work on it. I can type things out. I can really kind of try hard, like I'm in court. I could be like, transfer function. Anyway, that's just my opinion. And, you know, I think once because these are actually way trickier than they look. And once I get like the calibration down, I'm pretty confident I'll be able to write better and kind of zip around on here, and that will work well. And yeah, this would be, you know, cool. Anyway, there's that, and yeah, that just kind of affords a lot of interesting opportunities, and I'm still kind of ironing it out. But this works like super duper well for, I don't know, let's say, kind of explaining, you know, the areas of Serum, and I have my little shortcuts here. The areas of Serum would be like, you know, oscillator A. No, that's terrible. That is terrible. Let's see. It's a little bit tricky. And yeah, there's that, and I can kind of explain. I got to pick the correct colors though. But yeah, we can kind of just go through things one by one. And I can actually just draw these squares with my mouse for a little bit more accuracy, because, you know, I could just do that and then write things in as an idea. And I can be like, hey, this is what a keyboard looks like. But obviously, I would need to use a color that kind of makes sense. So I think I'll actually draw in these with the mouse, things like that. Like here's a little clip that you can input there. This is a clip here, and these are all dictated by this scene launcher here. So this whole thing right here is a scene, right? Let me just reiterate that. This right here is a scene, right? So the context is there. It's highlighted, and I can be like, hey, we can just, you know, play all the things in this row, or yeah, we call it a row, and that'd be a scene, right? Just makes sense to me. And yeah, there's going to be some stuff happening soon, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I urge you not to watch this video. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you learn stuff, or I hope you do learn stuff in a more efficient way. Take care and have a good. Let me know how it looks on your screens. The standard right now is 1080p, and this works quite well for that. Like if you obviously have to full screen, but yeah, that's just one of those things. Yeah, I'm just practicing my navigation and like underlining things. These are very tricky to use, but yeah, take care and have a good one.